Stop everything, because even seasoned Hollywood insiders are whispering rather than shouting about what just exploded online because it is so explosive, so personal, and potentially life. At precisely 9:42 p.m. A shocking headline that went viral on social media. Accusations that Teyana Taylor was somehow at the core of Iman Shumpert's most personal public exposure. Timelines were burning in a matter of minutes. Group chats went crazy. After bloggers went live, the term gay husband became popular all over the world. Not due to verification. The internet doesn't stop to fact-check when the tea feels this nuclear. Not because of confirmed evidence. Iman was really angry, according to sources. Not angry, not frustrated, not irritated. The specificity and intrusiveness of the rumors are said to have caught me off guard. According to one insider, the energy was like doors slamming, lawyers being called, and phones ringing nonstop. This is where it becomes even more startling though. The online narratives are more than just rumors. It concerns betrayal, retaliation, and whether or not private discussions were used as weapons in a highly visible conflict. And the most important query that is currently reverberating on all platforms is this. Was this a deliberate release, or is there someone behind the scenes causing mayhem? Due to the lack of official evidence, validated documentation, direct declarations, naming names, and only rumors, screen grabs, and an unrelenting social media maelstrom. Furthermore, this is more than simply rumors if even half of what is mentioned is accurate. Reputational detonation is what this is. So, fasten your seatbelt, because what we're about to unravel is not only disorganized, but also explosive. The online temperature rose so quickly after that blog title went up that it seemed planned. An ambiguous post from an unidentified source with a strong suggestion that Iman Shumpert had been privately leading a life that was unknown to the general population, and that Teyana Taylor was in some way in charge of making it public. It was just a story with petrol all over it, with no validated statements or documents, and the word spread like wildfire around his name. In music minutes, first came group chats. Did you notice this? Is this authentic? No way. It was then picked up by the bloggers. First, smaller accounts, followed by larger ones, and last, the commenting channels. The remainder was done by the algorithm. A single anonymous account asserted that Teyana had now come clean. Another claimed that this was revenge for something that had occurred during their divorce behind closed doors. Screenshots of purported DMs began to circulate. They were clipped, fuzzy, timestamps are conveniently missing. All of a sudden, the narrative was about war, not just rumors. According to others close to Iman, the accusation's very personal nature caught him off guard. Not only rumors about friendships, but dating rumors. The statements suggested something very personal and intimate. According to one source, when he first read the headline, he was trembling with rage. Not because of online chit-chat. He has previously dealt with that. But only when it was implied that a person he had previously trusted would have used personal data as a weapon. However, this is the section that complicates everything. Teyana has not been proven to have leaked anything. Not at all. There was only a wave of conjecture driven by time and historical date. No statement, receipts, or traceable post. Conflicts, as well as timing. It's all about timing. Because there was more to this rumor than meets the eye. It surfaced while Iman and Teyana were both become the subject of severe public scrutiny. For months, their divorce drama has been analyzed. The accusations have come from both sides. There have been past leaks of court documents. Charges against. There was already a sense of betrayal. People didn't hesitate when this tale was released. Whether they were real or not, they connected the dots. One blogger asserted that the data originated from a very near Teyana social circle. Another maintained that it was genuinely planted by someone attempting to cast her in a negative light. By the hour, the speculations proliferated. Iman apparently fell silent throughout the interim. Nothing, not an Instagram story, not a tweet. Furthermore, silence is never neutral in celebrity culture. It was viewed as astonishment by several admirers. For others, it was a legal tactic. Some conjectured that it meant the rumor was too ridiculous to acknowledgement, but the purported behind-the-scenes response followed. According to a source who claimed to be inside Iman's inner circle, he felt violated by the suggestion that private talks had been made public more than by presumptions about sexual orientation. Ammunition. According to the source, it has nothing to do with orientation. Oh, trust is key. The rumor spread nearly as quickly as that cue. And this is where things get tense. Teyana shared a mysterious remark on her Instagram account late that same evening. Something that is free cannot be shamed. No names, no explanation, no context. Screenshots were all over in a matter of seconds. Was she answering the gossip? Was it a coincidence? Was the content pre-scheduled? No one was aware. However, this unstable ambiguity feels purposeful. The internet broke up in an instant. She was accused of recklessness by one side. She was defended by another, who said that women are frequently held accountable for stories they did not write. A third group claimed the whole event was made up to divert attention from irrelevant issues. Then there was another twist. A lawyer for entertainment went live and conjectured that if false accusations were purposefully disseminated, a slander claim might ensue. The suggestion was strong, even though he didn't name anyone. Subpoenas, discovery, and legal action. If that door opens, snorts. Insiders suggest both camps are in crisis meetings, which may be explained by the fact that private messages do not remain private. One individual who claims to work close to the incident described lawyers, PR teams preparing unreleased statements, and phones buzzing constantly, recommending complete quiet. Because a rumor like this doesn't go away gently once it's attached to a name, it persists, it changes, it turns into searchable. This is the unpleasant reality that nobody wants to acknowledge. Sexuality. Speculation is treated as entertainment on the internet. It transforms intensely personal stories into popular subjects. The harm doesn't wait for verification, whether it's true or not. In the meantime, the previous interviews reappeared. Iman jokes with friends in clips, and pictures are examined for possible hidden meanings. Comment sections become panels of amateur investigators. Throughout it all, there was no hard proof linking Teyana to a deliberate leak, just history, just suspicion, just inference, because this rumor flourished because of their previous disagreements. That's the reason this is so explosive. She is being portrayed in a narrative that portrays her as someone who did not leak anything. Vindictive. If it was planted by someone else to cause trouble, they were successful. The emotional harm is still present if Iman believes he has been deceived without evidence. The most hazardous aspect is that no one is certain who gains from this. The initial blog article might have been anonymously posted through a tip channel that accepts unconfirmed information. According to a new claim that appeared late at night, should that be accurate, the source might be anybody. A dissatisfied coworker, an unidentified troll, someone seeking influence, or someone purposefully attempting to set up two ex-partners against one another. But without proof, it's just conjecture, built upon conjecture. And snorts. According to insiders, Iman is thinking of directly responding to the rumor, not to verify anything, but to denounce the violation of privacy. The story changes if he does. The internet will continue to create its own version if he doesn't speak. This isn't about facts at the moment. Perception is key. It has to do with control. Additionally, it concerns whether one's identification can be used as weaponry in the event of a public backlash. There are currently no confirmed documents that support the allegation. The claim is not supported by any public pronouncements. There is no solid proof that Teyana disclosed anything. However, the storm continues to rage, and the entire discussion shifts in an instant if even one genuine receipt turns up, demonstrating either guilt or innocence. Since reputation is at stake, this is no longer merely chatter. Additionally, I feel that this plot hasn't yet hit its breaking point. This was more than just a rumor by dawn. It was an out-of-control, full-blown crisis of repute. Since sometime at 2:17 a.m., a second wave struck. An extended blog post, more precise wording, and an assertion that screenshots were used to substantiate the original tip. Even though there were no screenshots or supporting evidence, the inference was enough to send social media into a tailspin. Moreover, the story was no longer limited to Iman Shumpert's exposure. It stated that the information had reportedly come from someone close to Teyana Taylor. Supposedly. That word had a great deal of weight since, after the mention of the internet didn't hesitate when a source from her entourage joined the discussion. People started making time. Filings for divorces were reviewed. Previous public declarations were repeated like a thriller's secret hints. This was revenge, according to a widely shared thread. Another insisted it was a mishandled attempt at damage control. According to a third, it was a planned distraction by a very different individual. It was a planned distraction by a very different individual. Every minute, the number of theories increased. According to sources, Iman sought emergency consultations prior to midday in order to control the rumor rather than provide clarification. In one individual, who states they were on the call and characterized the energy as controlled fury, not mayhem or screaming, but rather intense, focused rage. "This is reckless," he repeatedly said. According to the source, careless, because it's defamation territory if the rumor is untrue. It is an infringement of privacy if it is a private truth. It is explosive, any way. Moreover, the twist that changed everything then came. An obscure statement was posted by a well-known gossip account. Be careful who you attempt to degrade. You may not have as many receipts as they do. The timing is suspect, but no names. All of a sudden, Iman's supposed exposure wasn't the only topic of discussion. The topic was combating leaks. But what if he also has information? What if this was the opening move in a more competitive game of chess? Because it is now rumored by insiders that Iman and Teyana divorce was never as amicable as it seemed to the public. That long after documents were filed, tensions remained simmering behind the scenes. That disagreements existed regarding the public was exposed to stories regarding who owned which stories. Furthermore, perception is money in Hollywood. A stylist, a publicist, and a lawyer allegedly met behind closed doors in the late afternoon at Teyana camp. This has not been verified. Within an hour of one another, representatives were reportedly observed entering her building. Is it a coincidence? Perhaps. But nothing seems random in a situation like this. Then social media exploded once more. A purported audio snippet appeared, brief and warped. A man expressing his annoyance at private discussions being made into news stories. It was never verified that the voice belonged to Iman. No confirmation. I am aware of the obvious source. Yet the tone of anger was sufficient. According to several supporters, it demonstrated his rage. Regarding treachery, others claimed it was made up to heighten the drama. This is where things become really awkward. His name was trending with a term that wasn't just rumors, it was a matter of identification. Experts swiftly brought attention to something significant after others casually discussed it, made jokes about it, and used it as a weapon in comment sections. If this is an outing, then it is not entertaining. It's against the law, which makes the rumor's source even more crucial because, as of right now, there is no solid proof that Teyana revealed anything. There is no confirmed screenshot trail, no IP trace, and no admission, just a guess based on previous tension, but the assumption spreads more quickly, more than the truth. An entertainment lawyer went on record not defending either party by evening, stating that lawsuits may quickly follow if false charges were purposefully distributed to harm someone's reputation. He underlined that merely restating unsubstantiated claims can result in liability. The tone abruptly changed. Disclaimers were added by bloggers. Posts were changed. Bold words like alleged and unconfirmed were used. The threat of legal repercussions tends to curb careless narrative. However, cooling does not imply halting since, just when it appeared that things would settle down, a clip from an earlier interview reappeared. During a previous podcast interview, Iman made a vague remark about living truly while laughing. Although the video was years old and had nothing to do with the present storm, it turned into gasoline. The context vanished. Interpretation by the eyes took over. Insiders assert that Iman is currently debating whether to confront the rumor directly. Not to confirm or refute specifics, but to set a limit. According to one source, he doesn't want to support bullshit. However, he also does not want to appear to be giving up by being silent. The trap is that, talk and you intensify it. If you don't speak, the story will get calcified. What about Teyana? She stopped posting on social media. No enigmatic sayings. No nuanced captions. Nothing. While some view that as avoidance, others see it as strategy. According to reports, a publicist suggested that getting involved would just make the rumor last longer. According to another insider, she feels unjustly held responsible for something she didn't do. This isn't retaliation if that's the case. Collateral damage is what it is. However, collateral harm is rarely taken into account on the internet. It selects antagonists. Additionally, both names are currently being drawn into a plot that neither party has formally acknowledged. A final development surfaced late tonight. According to a credible entertainment writer, there are other sources that refute the assertion that the rumor started with Teyana's side. The connotation was obvious, but no specifics were provided. The story might not be as clear-cut as social media suggests. This match was ignited by someone else, if that's true. And the whole story changes from scandal to setup if that person is uncovered. Because beneath the cacophony, this is the truth. The existence of a gay husband is not supported by any confirmed evidence. Not verified evidence links Teyana to a purposeful leak. The main assertion causing this pandemonium has not been confirmed by any official announcement. What we have is conjecture on top of feeling and history. Additionally, that combo in Hollywood is flammable. However, the true source can be exposed if legal action is taken, subpoenas are sent, and digital footprints are located, and the narrative won't simply change when that occurs. It will blow up in a totally different way, because everyone wants to know who leaked what right now. The subject of who initially intended for this to become viral. However, maybe more perilous. On the third day, this was spreading rather than merely trending. An anonymous blog post had given way to a dozen conflicting stories, each more dramatic than the one before it. Teyana and Iman Shumpert stood in the middle of it all. Taylor, both prominent people were being pushed to manage a storm that neither had formally validated. After that, there was a development that caused the focus to change from rumors to possible legal conflict. Well-known according to an entertainment journalist, Iman was seriously considering taking legal action against anonymous individuals who disseminated what his camp views as intrusive and defamatory statements. There was no litigation. No, the documents were open to the public. However, the mere mention of legal escalation immediately altered the tone, since stories are scrutinized once lawyers join the conversation. Iman's sources claim that his annoyance isn't related to the public. Generic conjecture. The idea that one's identity was used as a weapon for clicks is at issue. According to an insider, he has a very defensive mindset, guarding his family, privacy, and reputation. The important thing is this. As of right now, the central claim that is causing all of this controversy has not been supported by any verified evidence. No formal affirmation. No written evidence. Only viral recurrence. Meanwhile, rumors started to circulate that the original anonymous submission might be traced back to digital forensics specialists. Just that rumor silenced smaller blogs. Fear. A number of posts were modified, locked comment sections and softened headlines. Though subtle, it was apparent. Then, according to reports, Teyana camp unexpectedly started to push back behind the scenes. According to a source who is purportedly close to her team, neither she nor anyone she has authorized started the rumor. That source claims that she was astounded to see her name linked to something so explosive and intimate, if it does indeed reframe everything. Furthermore, who stands to gain if she didn't divulge it, and Iman didn't plan it? That query began to gain momentum. A media analyst proposed that a third party could narrative plant. Someone who uses the tensions from a previous divorce to start a new uproar. According to another theory, the story might have been made up completely to capitalize on the public drama that was already going on. Public perceptions of betrayal are heightened by high-profile splits. This makes it incredibly simple to sow suspicion. However, a subsequent event further muddied the emotional terrain. According to reports, Iman's representatives received a brief written statement to choose media sources. It is a strong condemnation of intrusive speculation and a request for respect with regard to private matters. But it is neither a confirmation nor a denial of identity. The fire was not stoked by it. Release tried to keep it in check, and the tone was measured, not angry, not defensive, just in control. Legally speaking, that was strategic, but some mistook it for evasiveness, while others saw it as strength. Deal with the intrusion and refrain from validating the actual rumor. Teyana, meanwhile, said nothing in public. Just silence, no cryptic posts, no quotes of retaliation, and without new material, that silence started to change people's perceptions. The internet crowd began focusing on the rumor source in order to analyze it. Who sent it in? What proof was examined before it was published? Why did several blogs spread it without doing any research? Alongside the initial claim, those queries started to gain popularity. At this point, the discussion became a little more sophisticated. Commentators started drawing